Hello and welcome to episode 28 of our Timberborn 1.0 full release playthrough of the Folktales faction on the Down the Plug Hole map cycle 37 day 23. Got about half a day left in our current bad tide cycle. In last episode we put in some bots, we automated some things, we failed at automating a couple other things, and I discussed a couple of ideas I had that I thought would be pretty fun. And you guys seem to be on board with those. But before the bad tide goes away, I did want to discuss one thing here, and that is, if we just hit pause real quick while we still have light, we got a lot of dead trees here that are no longer going to be dead if they are replanted, and that is because we put in these contamination barriers here. But somebody had a good idea in the comments of the last video, which may be a little bit late for us to do now in this specific instance, but they said, well, how about instead of just worrying about contamination barriers, you just dynamite it. So, alright. I don't see any reason why not, but this is already set up, so I don't think we need to worry about it there. But we do still have, say, this area here would probably really benefit from this being dynamited. So, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to make these triples, which means these also... There we go. Those need to be triples, so on and so forth. That should be enough verticality to more or less prevent most of this from coming in. They can get all over here to put these in place, so that should be fine. And then in areas like this over here, that's prevented, so that's fine. This would probably really benefit from this. And I'd say I'm surprised I didn't think of this earlier, but let's be honest. You guys know me. You know how this works. Do I have the ability? Yes, I do. Okay. I'm just going to make this easy and take that out, so that will take care of that. That'll really help this specifically, because this is area that we could be using. Will we use it? I don't know, but it's area we could be using. That is the operative term. Could. The potential is there. So we'll just, yeet it, delete it. I can't get rid of that yet because that is a critical piece of infrastructure. And this also is not irrigated. Oh, that's right. These will last like 15 days. So we don't ever have to worry about irrigation keeping them alive. It's just you don't want them to die because of the poison. And the rest of this is probably fine. I'm just not going to worry about it. But the main thing you guys actually really, really liked the idea of was the possibility of putting in an aqueduct to come all the way over here and then drop in behind where the rafts come out. So we got a couple different ways to do that. One, we could go underground and then pump it up somewhere. That would probably be the easiest way. It would not be the fastest way in terms of, constructing it, but it would cost the least amount of stuff. We just have to put in a bunch of tunnels, which that is always going to be a fun thing. But the other way we could do it, and maybe the way that would be the most interesting to look at, is to get these mechanical fluid pumps and build structures. Obviously, I can't, place this in the middle of the air, but build structures that will elevate water, and then gravity transports it all the way over here. But those could get a little unsightly, so I'm not entirely sure the approach I want to take. I think it might be a hybrid of both. But I know I want to use the mechanical fluid pumps because I never play with these things. And a lot of you guys in the comments said you don't really see people use them either. So why not? It's episode 28. These series usually last 30 to 35 episodes. We got a little bit of time to play with some things and see what it is that we want to do. And there's a lot of water in here that normally just goes to waste by flowing over the dam, even though that does look cool. We got options. I do see a lot of you guys want me to build irrigation channels and stuff to keep this all green. I don't know how feasible that is without me just taking a whole bunch of time to do stuff off camera, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't particularly want to do because I got so much else going on. But I want to identify the routing here. Let's get this on triple speed. Because I know if you're going to have stuff come all the way through here, then you might as well go all out, right? So I'd want it to dump maybe right about here-ish, and then up in this area. See, I don't know about coming all the way over here. But along the backside of the map, for sure. We could even build it right up against the edge if we felt so inclined. But we do need to get power there, which is not going to be that hard because we have power shafts right here. But if we want to commit to using the outside of the map, then that would probably be a good opportunity for us to put in a bunch of overhangs, and we could even have these metal platforms, so on and so forth, depending on how we want to do it. I don't think the volume of water we're going to be putting through this is going to be that big. I don't know, but regardless, it probably is going to make the most sense, depending on how we want to do this, to just build up with the triple platforms or whatever, and then use overhangs. Then on top of the overhangs, do something like maybe putting the 5x5. If you remember the Ember Pelts playthrough, was that the first one I did where I had the giant aqueducts with the Ember Pelts? I think that's how I built this. So suffice to say, this is going to be something that is going to take a tremendous quantity of metal. And right now, we just have one storage for 1,000 blocks of metal. Which, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're not doing ourselves any favors. We're going to want to start stockpiling as much of that as we possibly can. And that means I'm going to have somewhere to put it. And it's not going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, but hey, guess what? None of this is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And I think sometimes it is okay. I know I could have copy-pasted that. I just never used that. I forgot what I was going to say. What else is new? I'm just going to, you know, make some more underground piles so they can get to work on that. But maybe before we get too carried away, let's, you know, dial it back a little bit and think about power transmission. And the easiest way to do that is just going to be drag this straight the way across. Maybe not completely straight. And I do want to leave room for them to walk in here. I think that would be a wise idea. So we'll see what I can get myself into. I think if we're going to go all the way to the edge of the map, then I'm going to want to, you know, pull the water out from this side. So that's probably going to be good enough to do that. I always forget I can do this. Where they do the L's. You know, old habits die hard, right? Not just a Christmas movie. Let's see. Oh, I didn't click on anything. There we go. Just the endless parade of power shafts. All the way along here. And who am I kidding? It's going to take these guys like 1.5 billion years to make this. And the way this is laid out, it's really not going to do many favors, huh? Yeah, you know what? This is not going to... This is going to be more trouble than it's worth to do that way. So, while it may not make sense to you that I am doing this way, I'm thinking, not primarily, but... No, not there. I'm thinking largely about how much of this can I just set and forget, Ron Popeil style. Just let this be what it needs to be with minimal intervention. Getting power over to here, I think, is probably going to be fine. I don't have any... Thank you, autosave. I don't have any of these zip lines coming all the way over here. And I don't exactly have a convenient way to do it. Although, coming from right here would probably make the most sense. So... I know there's a lot of stuff we're setting up, and we are going to time-lapse some of this, but I strongly believe in doing things while I remember that I need to do them, because if I don't, then, well, I don't get them done, then things happen. So that is in range. I do need to get this connected, so oh, that's like perfect. I just need to get this across, maybe put a station right about here, if I can get one that's close enough without it having to be a huge pain in the butt. And that doesn't seem like that's going to work. Alright, well... I can... Oh, I forgot I could put the... Oh, no, it says building flooded. Never mind. There is, you know, a small amount of scenarios where you can actually put this in water and it's fine. But for my money now... Oh, that's down below. That's why it's not going to fit. So if that's going to be the case... Can I elevate? I have to remember that's where that goes. Can I elevate this? Just one tile, and is that going to make a difference? Let's check our distance. There we go. You know, it may actually, depending on how close I get, may actually work. See, I want this to not have to be across the chasm there. Let's try. Now, how is this obstructed, or is it too far? Of course, it's obstructed by a tree. Yes, my favorite song. I have a lot of favorite songs that I don't even enjoy at all. Hey, that one works. So if that works, then you know what we can do is come over here and try that. Let's see what happens. Good. That should be about as far out as we can get, and that will be 30, yep. So then from here, because this is also going to be on the path, this probably isn't going to be... Is that perfectly straight? Wow, it almost is. Good enough. Let's make this... okay, how far away is this, and is it 33? Okay. Let's move this to... oh, I saw signs of life. I saw signs of life. That was not signs of life, but is it close enough? It is, but the line is obstructed. Well, you know what we can do is we can say sayonara to these trees, and then this is, again, just a very, very... I hesitate to use the term slipshod because well, okay, that kind of does describe this. I meant that this is not really going to be a permanent thing. This is just a method of convenience to get the beavers in here. But you know how it goes. That is connected. Yeah, okay, they're going to take that. And then I need to get them down here. Probably going to want the shortest path or one of the shortest possible paths. Let's give this... I don't need to be that worried about it. We'll just go down to here. And probably there. Seems like that's going to be fine. And then I just have to connect pathwise. And that's going to make me go around, huh? Okay, well. Nothing I haven't seen before. That is going to get me most of the way there. That is going to get me part of the way here. And again, we're going to do so much time-lapsing here in just a minute, but I really feel compelled to get this as set up as I possibly can before it is a huge problem. So, I am going to, on this side here, I'm not bringing in extra materials, I'll just move the path. I'm going to bring this up to the top area here so I can actually get to it. And then it's honestly just going to be faster to do this way. Does it make sense? Well, that's for you to decide. I am not confident that we will all agree on the best implementation of this, but what we absolutely will agree on is that it's going to work. And if we don't, well then that's your choice. You're free to do that. I think, provided I can get them to remove these first, so I can actually get this connected. This can largely, note that I'm not saying completely or definitely, but it can largely be autopiloted. Okay, that's going to give me space to put pile for, honestly... Maybe I don't need to worry about it, because it's going to come straight from here where there's all the storage. Yeah, you know what? We're not going to build a pile here. But that's going to be a thing. Now, getting over here, we are going to have to think about how we're going to be doing this. Because it's going to be kind of annoying to build this. And it's going to have to be built from one direction. And I think it needs to start here. I'm just trying to think about what I'm going to do to get up there. Because it has to be able to clear all of this. Because I'm not going to sit here and wait for this to get picked clean. And if I'm doing 5x5s... That means I've got to go all the way over this, really? Alright, so let's think about this. That is 2 tall, TWO, 2 things tall, not TOO tall, though that's probably also true. That does not clear, so 3 and 3 plus this, not going to cut the mustard. Now, 3 and 3 and 3 is going to be extreme overkill. It also might look kind of neat. So, why don't we just commit to that? Having this built here is going to mean if I don't want to have scaffolding absolutely everywhere, then that means I'm going to have this. Oh, I don't have that much science. Did I ever turn the observatory back on? I did, but it doesn't have power. What a uniquely me problem. See, I'm not sure that I want this to be in this location, though, so let's, wait a minute, let's put our thinking caps on here, shall we? I don't know that this is actually going to be the best way to do. Like, I know there's more efficient ways to do this where you have, like, a whole skeleton setup of things stacked, layered, whatever, with each other, but, you know, between you and me, I don't really think that's a great idea. Now, can being the operative term, first of all, can I guess correctly on my distances here? Survey says yes. And if I put those on the outside, then I've got, okay. Now, that is not necessarily a bad setup. If I did this, and I have that right like so, what that means is that I could just do very, very easily repeatable setup there. Now, it doesn't need to be that tall. It just has to clear this. So why don't we, instead of worrying about that, because we already know this isn't going to clear, but I need to know by how much. Like, I think if I was 1 higher, I could get away with it. So, if I did that, yeah. Okay, so that is the height that we're looking for. That is our bare minimum standard. And everything else needs to be equalized to that to achieve flow, or it needs to be higher on this side and then gradually step down. There is a point at which water will stop flowing horizontally unless it has a lot of force behind it. Oh, you know what I could also do? This doesn't work as well with the folktales because you only have the one water wheel that's too wide. But we could, depending on how we wanted to do this, we could put in a whole aqueduct and generate more power. But we don't need to be generating more power. I'm not saying we're not going to do it. I'm just saying we don't need to. Anyway, I get distracted so easily, as absolutely all of you will attest. So we want a distance between of, well, 6. I could have told you that. I'm just trying to make sure that these line up nicely. So 5 blocks between is what we're going to have to do so that they can, you know, actually reach everything without me having to build just buku scaffolding absolutely everywhere. I want this to be continuous underneath so they can always build all at the same time. So this is just going to stay here because it's already there. But we know we're going to be able to get this taken care of. That is a 1. I don't need to build the rest of the stuff until I have the rest of the stuff. You know, that makes sense. That's going to be... I really need to have this. Come on, autosave. There we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I always start from the bottom with the... see, these are going to be the right height, just like this. But these in-betweens don't match. I guess I probably shouldn't be that worried about it. But I do want to see how this is going to match up. So that is 4 in between. That's 5 in between. Yeah, see, this right here. If this is going to be the tallest relative to map height, yeah, and it is, then that can be our standard right there. Which means that this, instead of having the single on the top, can have the single on the bottom. Which, what difference does that make? Functionally, absolutely none. But in terms of aesthetics, which I guess we can have different opinions on. In terms of aesthetics, it is going to be better than the alternative. I'm not going to say great, because objectively this doesn't look that great. But it does work. And sometimes that's good enough, right? So if that is going to be the case, then this can also be 1. That does line up, right? I really don't want to have another situation where I build a whole thing and like, oh, it's actually in the wrong spot, and then I feel stupid. I don't wish for that for myself. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between. All right, so we know that works, and I can easily get that all the way up. I am going to try, maybe. I'm going to try to have this all level, because I think it will do it. But this, oh yeah, that's going to work great, actually, because that's the same height as this other one. All right, so let's just try to speed this up just a tad. Just a tad. So that's 5 in between. And then I guess I can just make this the end. Thank you, autosave lag. So if I were to do this to this height, that's going to get this all the way across to here. Remember, there's going to be another level on top of this that we have to still do. Oh, I fell victim to one of the classic blunders. But I did not bet against a Sicilian when my life was on the line, so at least I have that going for me. Let's see. That's going to go there. 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 Don't you just love watching this instead of me time-lapsing it? Don't you appreciate the organic interaction? The authentic gameplay? No? Well, that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. That is 4 between. That's 5 between. So I think I can get away with... Oh, it's the same. Same kind of deal. But I could, actually... I could step down if I really felt like it. Height-wise, no. I'll just keep it up here. All right, so we know that one there can get done with a 1. Maybe 3 of those. Yeah, there we go. And then now that one can be a 2, because we just discussed this. That can also be a 2, and then this right here could be the 1. Don't you love it when I figure out math? Basic addition. Yeah, me too. All right, we're almost through this, folks. I promise it's going to get better. I just really want to make sure I'm doing this carefully before I time-lapse everything. And oh, if I can avoid having to have these trees removed, that would be great. That would be amazing. Let's try to do that. 5. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh, we did it. 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 And I don't have to send ground troops in. There we go. All right. So that's going to get us to here. Remember, we're trying to get back into here. Single. And then that is going to end up being a double. Now here, oh man, but I have access, so there's that. That's going to be 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 in the middle, which means that one there. Yes, okay. So we know that's going to be a thing. And that was doubles, so then that's going to be 4. No, actually, because this is going to, if this is the one that's getting removed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one there is going to get me to the correct height. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one here, except that's not the correct height. That needs to be a single. But it is the correct spot. So single there. And then I'll go 1 more this way, which is going to put me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This tree needs to go away. And that is where that's going to go. Then we'll have to go across. That might also cause problems. Well, we're going to build this in stages anyway. So now that that is taken care of, let's get the rest of these popped in. They're going to have to build them, like I said, in stages, in sequence, whatever. But it's going to start from the front end and work its way back for the most part because of the way this is going to be oriented. So let me know. Do you think this is ugly? If you do, well, I'm sorry to say that I'm absolutely not going to tear it out and redo it, but I will log your complaint, and your voice will be heard. You know, that actually might not look completely horrible coming off the backside. But now to get in here, we're going to have to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to go in an L shape. And let's see, that's going to be 2 between, 3, 4, 5. Is that going to be in the... No, it's not. That's another single situation. Hope I lined that up right, did I? Yes. So that's going to go there. And keep in mind, we're going to have to, because of the depth of these pumps, we're going to have to stair-step this, which is depth of 5 meters. And we're going to have... I'm going to have to maybe... I should have tested this before, before I hit record. But you know how it goes. I'm, for right now, going to leave that one at... You know what maybe we should do is here... No, you know what? I'll just make a little tiny reservoir. We'll keep it all the same height and make it nice and easy. Or at least easier. So that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, which means this could actually be a triple. Yes, very good. And then the last one, probably to... that is... Don't tell me that's exactly the right height. I love it. I love it. Did they get rid of this yet? No, they did not. Well, it doesn't say they can't reach it, so they're just not prioritizing it, because of course they aren't. They never do. That's fine. This is going to be okay, and then they have to get here. Have they actually started on this yet? They have not, because this is not connected. Let's do that. They obviously can't use this until these are all built. So we know this has to be done. I'm just going to give them a path on that priority-wise. Then this needs to be a priority. And it's not going to be unless they can get there, and they can't get there unless I give them a way to get there, and they can't get there unless I give them a different way to get across to get to the way to get there. Those of you who didn't leap through your computer screens to try and strangle me after that, then... you can enjoy the process of me putting these staircase. That's not gonna fit. Yeah, they have to be contiguous. Funny thing that. Let's just get that set up there. This is all just heinously ugly. But what's the phrase? If it's stupid and it works, it's still stupid, but at least it works. That might not be exactly it, but at any rate. This is going to enable them to actually have this connected, which means they can cut out all that nonsense, which means they can get over here faster, which means they can do what they need to do. And now, all I've got to do is lay this around the outside. We don't have to worry about putting stuff on top. This is just for this to get built. This exact design for the purpose of functionality, not appearance. Although we can try to make it look nice, and we should, and we will. It's a very roundabout way of saying I'm going to try my best, but we're going to do what we have to do. So that is now ready for this to be... Yeah, that was going to be a double. And, yep, that goes there. Oh, come on, lag. Autosave, thank you. That's another double. That is also going to clear the zip line by a lot. Not that that was a particularly egregious thing. While we still have light, I am going to actually check that this is going to work. If I make this 5x5, is this going to... Okay, I do need this to line up in the corner here. I just want to check that this is actually going to go all the... This is so much metal to do this. Because these are 5x5s going on top of a 6-unit long structure underneath, so it's not going to line up. Well, I mean, it will in a pattern of repeating, but I don't want to sit here and try to do the math, so we're just going to place all these because why not? They can build all of that from underneath, and then I'm going to have to send them on top to get to the rest. Mainly what I'm trying to figure out is this going to overlap? Oh, it's going to overlap in the worst possible spot. So I'll tell you what we'll do instead is I'm going to extend this. I think I can do one more. And, oh, yeah, that's actually going to be not perfect. But I can have this just go straight out that way. And instead of this being a 6, I can have it be, I think, a 4. Yeah, okay. And then this is going to be a little strange because we're going to have to do it in a way that's going to... I guess get back to where we're trying to go. I need... If it's going to be right in the middle, I need that one to go away. That's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. And this one's going to have to be gone anyway. Oh, was it this one? No, it was not. It was this one. That's... Yeah, that's what I wanted. Come on, lag. Stop it. There we go. So that needs to be... And then... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, which means that can be this piece. And this doesn't have to be the same height, but it accidentally was. Yeah. So we could just have a magnificent waterfall go straight down and it would hit this tile and then this one, and it's going to be fine. But I think that's going to be about the best I can do. If I want to have this be a... Yeah, just like that. Let's just check. See, that's going to have to go one more that way, which means... If I want this to actually match up, then... Oh, I was going to go from the other side, not that way. No. That is going to be coming down... to here, and then this actually doesn't need one of those at all, unless I just did the exact same thing I said I wasn't going to do. Okay, this needs to move. I promise I know what I'm doing, mostly. I don't even need these to cantilever, because they can just go straight up off the what do you call it? This one just has to get removed right now. So I can actually put this. I think I can just do a regular 6x1 and it'll be enough. Let's just get that out of here before the sun goes down, please and thank you. Why is this taking so long to demolish this? I do not remember trees taking this long to get rid of, and this is going to be a problem because they're going to run out of hours to work. So guess what? Everybody gets to work more today because I need this tree gone. There we go. Now I can put that back. Oh, nope, that was the... Needed to be a single. I'm pretty sure is what that was. So, that going that way. Oh, this is going to be an interesting problem because this one's not going to be able to build that unless I build stairs up to it, which I really don't want to do. I also have ladders, but I kind of don't want to unlock those because we haven't used them yet. But at any rate, this cannot be placed right now because it has to have other stuff, but I need to make sure this will clear. So when this comes off, it's just going to spill directly. Oh, you know what? That's fine. That'll be okay. But to get this built, we're going to have to put a double there. So it's going to be a while, folks, before this can actually get finished. I'll tell you what. Easier, better way to do this. Let's do temporarily this. I'll put stairs here, and that'll allow them to build this enough for me to come replace this with something else. Alright, and I know, this has been just a gargantuanly long, just disgustingly ridiculous thing to watch me set all this up. But you know exactly why I've done this, and that's because we're going to time-lapse the ever-loving you-know-what out of it just as soon as I get the rest of this set up. Because I do need to have stuff pumped up here, which means the way this is set up, I could stand Triple platform. That means I'm going to have a single. I could stand to do one more of these, I think. Yeah, let's try that. And, oh, that actually needed 4. And then that could be 6. Now let's just check how this lines up. Okay, see, this is actually... Where does this line up enough for me to change how this goes? You know, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't have done this like this. I need to make a stair step raise this up thing, which I am now realizing I should have done all of this as. Okay, so this is not going to be done this way. This is going to have to all be ripped out. I know I can hear... Wait, I hit no on all of those. I can hear your cries. You're suffering. It will be okay. Just trust the process. I just need this to be, I think, for what I want to do, I think I can do it with just stair-stepping 5 meters at a time. If you survive watching this video, then you know you actually really like the way I do things, because I tell you what, not exactly the most logical process here. Does it matter that this is a triple instead of a double? No, but I'm going to fix it anyway, because that's just, you know, that's the damage I have dealt to myself psychically over the past 34 years. Is this going to be enough? And I know these are going to be offset height-wise, but that is 2... okay, the way this is... I should make the gap between them 4, which means I... Okay, well, see, the problem is I like it when these all line up in a line, because that's what a line is, you doofus. I like it when they line up because I think it looks cool. That is perhaps one of my greatest Timberborn character flaws. Is that I just like it when stuff looks nice, and then I don't know how to execute on it. But, you know, that's the way it goes. That one there. Yes, I'm about to do this exact same sandwich strategy, except I don't need to for this. I can just do that. I just need to check. Okay, good. That's fine, because this is going to be up 1 level, and then that's going to be up 1 level, and then that is going to be... That can actually... If this were full, this would suck directly out of there. But. Oh, I can't. I have to peel this back to do that. I want there to be contingency placed. So, let's see. I want that there, and I need that to be a depth that is 1 lower than that, which does not need to be a metal platform, because this is just dirt. So all I have to do is expand. Well, I don't have to expand, but I'm going to choose to, because this is going to look better. That's going to be my first 5x5. This is 4x5. So that's going to be the first platform we're working with. And now the biggest problem is going to be, how do I get the beavers up to this bit? I hope this is going to look good. I'm sincerely going to try my best to make it actually look good. Is the best way to do this really going to be... Because I need them... Come on, autosave. I need them to get to this level here. Which, the way this is set up... This is so hard to do perspective-wise. Yeah, okay. Alright, I can work with that. I just need them to get to here. And then I need to connect that. Then I need to connect that. And then... to get to all this mess, I just need... I'm not going to make these all out of overhangs. I almost said platforms. Like, that's exactly what this is, you dingus. I'm just going to have this go up. And it's going to keep going up, and that is probably going to be annoying to build, and I'm sequencing it wrong, so they're not going to do it, but that's... fine. They'll be able to build from beneath, but I think for this I'm going to have to give them the special access over here. Just right on the side like that. Alright. We're almost to the time lapse. Almost, folks. Just bear with me here. I say to the loyal and devoted fan base that I probably don't deserve, who will watch these videos regardless of what I do in them. I appreciate you, and I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Your suffering is almost at an end. Okay, so now this is actually connected, and they can actually build all of this garbage. Before we unpause, we got some stuff to figure out. We have 4 extra bots. We have 38 vacancies for beavers. Currently, most of those vacancies are coming from builders' huts, which is about to be something we really, really need. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put bots in the builders' huts. And they are still, you know, super deprioritized. But I'm going to put 16 bots in the builders' huts. These are already automated. At least one of you took umbrage to the strategy that I had. Is that even the correct usage of the term umbrage? I'm not talking about the professor either. Let's... No, come on. No. See, I have to look things up in real... Oh, I did use it correctly. Umbrage is a formal noun that means a feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or resentment usually caused by being offended or feeling disrespected. Wow, that is, like, spot on. I remember my SAT words. Regardless, I'll just say a couple of people said, hey, you know, it doesn't make any sense for you to put bots in the assemblers before you put them in the factories. And you know what? You're absolutely right. So I'm going to fix it. Now they're going to be in the factories too. And to kind of alleviate that while we're still making more bots, I will put biobeavers back in some of the lumberjack flags. Since at least a few of you in the comments said, you know, that's kind of the whole thing that beavers do is they cut down trees. So why take that away from them? Long term, we're going to take it away from them. For right now, I think this is going to be fine. Just to do this like this. But I know. Just, I appreciate your patience. One more thing. I say 43 minutes into the video without having time lapse at all. We're not going to be able to make metal fast enough to replace the rate at which we are constructing this enormous thing. So, we'll have to monitor, and we'll have to get some more beavers in the mines, and then maybe build some more smelters, because smelters aren't exactly fast. They make 1 block every 2 hours, and currently they have biobeavers in them. So, remember, each one of these is 90 blocks. So that represents 180 production hours, which is on a 14-hour workday for biobeavers. That's a lot of days worth 4 smelters. So I think before we start, I am going to put bots in the smelters. Of course, not deprioritized, just so we can have this working longer and longer. And we probably, not right now, but probably are going to need more scrap metal coming in. So, again, I'm going to temporarily make this a biobeaver job and put more of them in there. Just because, you know, we can't make bots fast enough to do all of this at the exact same time, and we probably shouldn't try. But we need to do something. And that is, yeah, that's more or less what I'm trying to do here. So, you know, it's, I hate to say it. I really don't. I love saying it. But you, some of you hate to hear it. It really does just take time. I get 1 per episode, right? Right? That's not an agreement we ever made, but that's what I'm saying for this one. I got 1 and I already said it, so I'm not going to say it again. But we will need to just let them do what they got to do. That's probably another thing I should stop saying, but I digress. That's also a thing I should probably stop saying. Anyway. Now it's time to just time-lapse. Let them do the thing that I said I wasn't going to say again that replaced the thing I said I wasn't going to say again that replaced the thing I said I wasn't going to say again. So now they're just going to build, and we're going to have to wait. So while we're doing that, because we're 46 minutes into the video, and there's not going to be that much interesting stuff for you to look at for a while, I figured we'll go ahead and do the end of episode stuff before the interesting things start showing up on screen. You already know the names on the screen, the Beard Boosters, the folks who subsidize the channel and make it so that I can be my weird, non-optimized, whatever random self making these videos. I don't have to try and edit things down. I don't have to chase the algorithm. I don't have to try and out Pizza the Hut, as it were, for anybody else who makes these videos. I don't even really spend any time watching other people's Timberborn videos because I don't want to feel like I'm taking their ideas. And honestly, I just don't have the time. But beyond that, I want to make sure that what I'm doing is what I want to do, not overly influenced by other people's playthroughs, not overly influenced by other people's ideas, unless, you know, you're leaving comments in the videos, which I always tell people to do. But I like the way we do things here. I really do. I truly mean it. And it's those folks whose names have been on the screen who make it possible. Whether or not they're active contributors, whether or not you're on the list, I'm thankful for each and every one of you, and I am so glad that I get to do this the way that I like to do it, without having to worry about too much, because those folks help keep the channel afloat and make it possible to just do what we want to do. So now that that's over with, we get to see the beavers doing a little bit more construction here, and then there will come a point where we'll have to stop it because I will have physically run out of time to record today. But we're going to do our best to get as much done as possible before we have to say goodbye, which will be in just a moment. So what you're seeing during part of this, I don't know if it's happened already or if it's yet to happen, but at some point I figured out that the zipline had not been constructed as fast as I wanted it to, and I also figured out that there is a very, very, very inefficient way of pathing that these beavers were having to do, even with the zipline. So I did make a couple modifications, which you do see at some point, and then hopefully the beavers have enough time to get enough done before I have to call it quits for the evening. But we'll see in just a moment. Alright, well, cycle 39 is here, and I am just about out of time to record, unfortunately. But I did think it was worth, you know, letting them try to do as much as they could. It looks like we are about as good of a spot as we can be on height differences here. Now, I know this is only 3 blocks here, 4 blocks here, and 4 blocks here. The reason why I decided to do that was because we might end up raising these first few 1 block. I don't think I said anything about that, but all these that in fact, I'm just going to pause these instead of just deprioritizing them. I think long term we might want to raise some of these, so I'm just going to pause as many of them as I think is going to be necessary. I think that would be fine, but I wanted to leave that headroom there just in case, and also this was already done. I wasn't going to rip it out and redo it, even if the height was quote-unquote wrong. But they've managed to do most of what I wanted them to do. It took too long to put the zipline station in, and that whole thing here, and then I didn't even have it connected to the path. You probably saw it if you paid attention during the time-lapse, but I guess it's fine. We're lagging behind on bot numbers, and we also have a lot of beavers that aren't doing anything. So, because I know it's going to come up, I'm going to preempt it. I'm going to put in some more builders' huts. Just because, you know, what else am I supposed to do? I'm just going to pop these guys in here and leave them on regular beavers. And it messes me up that they flipped these around. I know why they did it, and they should have flipped it a long time ago. But again, multiple years of muscle memory dies super hard. So that's another 16 jobs for bio beavers. Actually, until we have enough bots, I might as well flip these back too. Just so we have more stuff filled, even if the builder beavers will only work 14-hour days. It's better than nothing. And I think and I hope that you guys like this. If you don't, that's fine. We can still be friends. Or to avoid the parasociality of it all, you can still watch my videos and have fun with it. No relationship expressed or implied, but I think this is going to be neat. And I've got ideas for how to finish this off. Of course, we have to actually build it first to get the beavers up on top before anything can really be done past that. But I've got some fun ideas, and I know you guys probably do as well. So let me know. We already did end of episode stuff, so I don't need to do any more of that. But I am interested in your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas for this little aqueduct thing. Did you like it being around the outside? Would you rather it have been a tunnel? Would you rather it kind of respected the topography, so to speak, to borrow a term from City Planner Plays? I don't know. I kind of like this. It's neat. It's one of those dumb, ridiculous, there's no reason you had to do it this way, but you did it anyway, and that's kind of cool things, at least for me. But yeah, I'm out of time. The beavers aren't, but I am. We'll catch back up with these guys in the next video, and I'll look forward to your thoughts on this. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.